Good morning, and this is the crypto day morning. Today's date is that of Tuesday, the 11th of December, 2018. All bets, trades of the like within one's own risk and their own reward. And before getting into the crypto market, let's first take a look at the silver and gold, which has been showing strength amongst the 18 average of highs. Resistance established on December the 4th, and this is the fifth consecutive day showing strength amongst such. In at this resistance level at 14 and 2/3. Does it have the mojo, the availability to break out? Question mark. I like the setup for a leg higher coming into today's trading day. Gold got over its resistance level, and since it broke out of the 18 average of highs on December the 3rd, 2 days up, 2 days going sideways. We have had a day up, and we're having now 2 days going sideways, like silver at the upper end of the resistance area level. We can see here that it's in a nice little short-term run, that it wouldn't surprise me if it has a decent gain as we move into today's session, looking at the Dow Jones or the stock market, broad market. There's just a lot of wild volatility as far as its moves are concerned. Stock market generally has lower volatility to begin with, as it is anyway. We can see how there's wild gap moves, like after the close on November the 19th, closing at that of 26,100 and change, and then it opens the next day at like 25,400. Big wild moves. And even just looking at the last few periods from the recent top, a very big selling day here as the market lost 2.82%. And for the stock market, that's pretty decent. And then we look at the days that followed. This day here, it gapped here, so it gapped lower. It obviously went lower within the session and then closed near the highs of the day, and it pretty much topped from there. As we can see, another decent down day of 2.13%. And yesterday's session was up a quarter, but it obviously broke down by this little support level. Now it's at the previous level. Question is, will this area be resistance? We see the 18 has got a decent move, and we look at this on just quickly on multiple time frames. Weekly time frame is coming very solidly sideways and choppy and neutral, especially when we look at the red and green candles. Very similar to how it started. Little bit of a nice up run from this bottom to this top, but this movement is very similar to the current one in place now, and therefore, it looks like if it breaks down below the support, we probably have some continuation, decent volatility within the market, and of course, test some new lows not seen in a while. And of course, going higher, well, every time the Dow goes up, it does it in low volatility, we can see here. And then throughout the last decade, bull market run within the monthly term time frame, 18 average is becoming more and more sideways. The rate of ascent is obviously slowed down, and continuation of unable to get above 25,000 would do such. Let's now go to the Bitcoin daily term, and it's in at 33 1/3 at this point, as it is resisting this 18 average of lows for the second time within this leg lower from the break of 6,000 that occurred about 1 month ago. It looks like the momentum is going to continue to take it further down towards the 3,000 level I've been talking about for pretty much the entire year. There's the rally in here, unable to support within the 18, rather it has been resisting the 18 average of lows. That's why this indicator, I like how it works. It's really telling me that it's not able to sustain. Buyers are not coming into this market at any type of aggressive rate. Maybe the prices aren't cheap enough, or for whatever reason. That's not important. The bottom line is there's no aggressive buyers in the market, and because of that, that's going to be a reason for markets to have these legs and moves lower as it goes forward. And the markets are really, as long as if you say it's oversold, well, that's obviously what somebody says, but as long as there's people willing to push the sell button at much larger rates that people are to push the buy button as the takers of the offers, then the markets are obviously going to keep going lower. And same thing when markets are way high or overextended. you can say it's up too much, but if people are still willing to buy a lot more than people are willing to sell, then it's going to keep going higher. And looking at this now quickly on the single hour time frame, there we can see that it broke down below its correctionary move at 5 o'clock in the morning. It started its decline at 1 o'clock the morning on the previous day and had a little bit of a leg lower. I talked about this day yesterday, so there was a very interesting failed breakout that has resisted it. We can see that since the sideways correction, it's corrected decently through time from 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon through 5 o'clock in the morning. So for about 15 hours going sideways, and now 2 hours or such doing the same thing here. Because if we look at this on the 15-minute time frame, there's your down move, just consolidating sideways. But even short term, we can see that the 6:30 a.m. timestamp period resisted the 18 lows, and its momentum is going further to the downside in here. So there's that 18 high test, 18 low test, so it hasn't broken down below it yet, but overall momentum is showing that there's a better chance to me that there's going to be further decline than there is further rise. And we can see further what happened yesterday within this market when it had that move, which happened really fast in like a 3-minute period, where it was unable to hold the 18 average of lows, went below it, and then it resisted it when it had its first correctionary move, went below it again, quick resistance again, and now it got above that little area, so it comes back to the 18. Now this is a spot where it needs to, this is its opportunity, if you will, to get above this high that it established at 34.19. Rather, it resisted it for yet another time and left the 18 average here at what was 18.55 down move, and then you just get continued choppy action with the majority of the movement going lower. Let's move on to the altcoin Qtum. I'm just checking now to see what the biggest or one of the nicer percentage gainers is, and it's this one here. I then check to see where my sell order is. It's in at 569, so now I have to decide what I want to do with it. 5-minute term time frame is saying when these cryptos want to go, they just go. There was no way of knowing before the fact, looking at this chart, that a move like this was going to occur. There's just no way, not with the volume, not with the price action. And then these moves happen whenever coins are ready to go, breaking through many layers of resistance amongst the hourly time frame. On the 4-hour, coming back to where it came from. And this is most likely means that I probably missed a buy opportunity. Let me see where my buy order was. I would be, well, obviously if I hit 450, I should have hit it. So probably would have been buying closer to the 400 to 425 handle. And the answer was a 441 conservative bid, which means I probably should have been lower. And I'm going to have to change it. I'm either going to have to change it up to, I'm going to change it to like 400. If I don't get my sell order come in first, but that's my trading aspect within this market. Again, coming back to this big area. Like always, whenever you have a big move like this, I want to see it hold the 18 at where it came from. That's about 470. And on the daily term, it's been in a steady decline. So this type of move, all that's going to do right now is help to flatten out the market, change the rate of the pattern from declining mode to neutral or in a remission kind of period. Of course, in remission, it just means that, okay, what are we going to do next? Are we going to just have a correctionary move and then have another leg lower? Question mark. Are you able to establish a breakout higher? Maybe test some areas up here in the 565, 600 kind of area, or the upper half of the 500s. That would be, and you never know in those situations, but for now, because the price action is pretty much just at the 18 highs from where it was, that's an area flattening it out. And when it's ready to go, like we see in the 15-minute time frame, it could just have a big move. When it's ready to go here, you might have like 3-4 consecutive days or 6 days where all days are up or all but one are up, and a lot of large size moves. The next thing you know, this price is between 800 and 1,000 or even higher than that. Those are, and most certainly higher than that, because a 2x move in one day could most certainly be in play. So you could have a spot where we could see what the losses here from the April Fool's high, which is which is like 7 months of a decline. You can get it back in 7 days very easily, given how these markets move. Of course, that's when the markets are ready to go, and we can see in here on the 5-minute time frame it was ready at that point in here. I got myself into MUI yesterday, monetary unit. I've been in this before. Just a normal minimum size bet for myself. I like the pattern here on the 4-hour time frame. The moves are pretty decent as well. On the daily term, this has managed to have a very interesting play amongst the 18 average of highs from December the 8th moving forward. So I like how it was breaking out in yesterday's session, something that I was noticing. So I thought, okay, probably something I would definitely consider getting in. And breaking out above this, the next key level, I got 753 written. That was probably from or drawn in. That was probably from a long time ago. But I'm looking at this previous resistance area first at about the 680 level. But this thing has been taken down quite decently, and a lot of these coins have, but that shows the large volatility. High risk, high reward situations are available. And then for myself, managing risk is always job number one. What you do with your risk reward management, well, that's entirely up to you. It's your free decision. But if it's able to get above this weekly chart ready to go, this thing could easily have like 2, 3, 4x moves whenever it's ready. And that's really fast, let alone a fast move in here, which comes from like March to, we'll say, July, where it's able to go from 100 Satoshi to over 8,000 Satoshi. That's close to a 100x gain. Are we done with these 100 and 200 and in some cases 500x gains, let alone the nice 20 plus x moves? I don't think so. Maybe we are, but I'm playing these markets in the probability, the feeling from my probability odds that there's a good chance that a decent rally would happen on either a bullish or bearish situation. And what I mean by that on the very long-term perspective is if cryptos are good, that's a bullish perspective. And of course, I would think that some of these altcoins, especially for the next half year to a year, are going to have legs and moves higher. But if it's not, as I move to the Bitcoin chart to finish this video, it at least wouldn't surprise me that after this leg is lower, done lower, whether it goes to 3 or 15 or wherever it goes to, that there's going to be a nice sharp rally that would happen in the opposite direction before it would end up going lower. And when I look at the overall decision of asset classes, especially on an investing decision to get into, what are your choices? After all, if you want crude oil, you pretty much have to play an ETF format. That's pretty much stocks or trading within the traditional markets. So that's definitely one of them. Holding just fiat currency, that's one of them. Holding precious metals, that's one of them. Trading cryptocurrencies and holding cryptocurrencies are other ones as well. For I could get into cash, but I don't trust the cash system or the fiat currency. That's the reason why I got into silver over a decade ago. Precious metals, well, I'm already in them, and I plan hopefully with gains in cryptos to have very good gains in my precious metals, hence the reason why I want to trade this and over any type of stock market trading as well. And that is how I look at the decision, because no matter how you look at it, there's always going to be risks and rewards within your decisions of investing. As I don't see anything, as everyone talks about, oh, the dollar's a safe play, or bonds, or whatever, or this is a safe bet in the market. You know what? There really isn't any one safe asset that's out there. For you could have said, well, gold and silver, and then you get into gold and at least silver anyway, as the price is breaking above 20, and now you look at your portfolio and realize it might be down 30, 40, 50%. And long term, that's all fine and dandy, some might say. But if you need to liquidate or just for any reason, so, and I'm talking maybe 2014, 15, 16, anywhere to now, and even as we move in the future, you're going to have to do so at a loss. So there's your risk reward at that situation there. You can hold fiat currency, and then at any given time, we could have, and we're already having inflation at different levels, pretty much about noticeably between 1 and 200% in the last quarter century, as far as real cost from what I have noticed. But prices go up and you lose your value, and you could have hyperinflation next year, a decade from now, and that could be bad news as well. So I'm holding cryptocurrencies. I'm trading them, of course, for the plan of playing this game, and it's really what it is, because it's kind of fun. It's a little boring and tedious at times, and there's going to be situations when these things go really wild, I think, especially when the bottom occurs. And you have those altcoins with those 4, 7, 10, 20, 50, 100x type of a moves. That it's going to be a lot like it was December last year with these major straight up moves. And there's going to be, for me, a lot of work to do. But then we get to the point here, fast moves here. If we go, say, for example, on this leg lower to about here, it'd probably be another fast leg in here. I'm looking at the weekly chart, 1 to 3 weeks. It would take less than a month probably to get from 3,000 to 15 and maybe even lower to 1,000. It would have a large size. But then wherever it bottoms from, whether it bottoms from here, 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 or here, I think it's going to have sharp moves to the upside, not only for Bitcoin against the dollar, but other altcoins doing better against the dollar, thus having gains against Bitcoin. Thank you for tuning in this morning to the video, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.